Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Acidic back. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I want to give my reasonings and opinions on why I think Fortnite Season 9 is potentially one of the worst states of the game that we've ever had, and a lot of the community thinks this way too. I personally didn't think the last couple of seasons were too bad. I know it's more of a meme to kind of say revert and everything because of the whole siphon fiasco that happened, but I wasn't really a big advocate in that. I really didn't have a problem with anything. But there's just something about this season specifically that's just really bad, and I'm going to go over those points in this video today. So first thing I want to talk about is the drum gun. This is the major problem I think that's plagued the game as of right now, is the drum gun. The drum gun was vaulted a long time ago for being extremely overpowered. It just knocks through builds in like 4 shots. It's got a 50 round clip. Then you can reload it in like a second and a half, which is just... it's ridiculous. The headshot's like 52 damage, I think. Body shot's like 26. It shoots really quick. It's got a pretty decent bloom. It's just all around was just insanely good, and they vaulted it for that reason. Gave the community a chance to bring back a vaulted weapon, and that was one of the options. And I think that's where they screwed up first off. A gun that is that insanely broken should not have been put into that unvaulting state anyway. And if it was, they needed to find a way to balance it in a way, which is kind of my second possibility of what they could do with this, is just take the drum gun and just kind of nerf it a little bit. Either don't make it do as much damage to people, or just don't make it do so much damage to structures. I mean, the thing just rips through it with 4 bullets, like I said, and then it's just boom, the wall's gone, ramp's gone, whatever you got. And then people just end up carrying like 2 to 3 of these things. I ran like 3 yesterday, and you just hold the shoot button and you just walk forward and you break through everything. There's nothing that can stop the drum gun once it's started. Once you get in a fight and somebody just keeps spraying the drum gun, it's over unless you have one and you can kind of go back and forth. Building is not even an option anymore. The only reason you build is just to try to hold off the onslaught of bullets that are coming your way at such a fast, rapid pace that it's just... building is not even really that good at the moment. I kind of liked the whole building aspect. I know some people will get annoyed of how fast people build and stuff, but I think that's just what sets it apart from other games. It's like the only thing that it does. So I think that was okay, but the drum gun legitimately just neutralizes that because you just get spammed through with everything, and there's just no time for you to build up or to recover because people just carry so many, or it just takes such a quick time to reload it. So I think the main thing that really just makes this season really hurt is the drum gun's deletion, or implementation is what I meant to say. The reason I said deletion is because the next thing was the pump. I'm okay with the pump being gone. I don't like the idea of one hit abilities like that, unless it's like a sniper or something, maybe. You know, something that's like very pinpoint accurate. You have to be right on target and everything, and it's got lead and all that, so things like that. But the pump, I just didn't like it. It was very meta. It was about who landed and got the pump first. I personally wasn't a fan of that. I know some people were. That's just different play styles and different viewpoints, conflicting. It's inevitable. But I think the fact that they took the pump out just makes the drum gun problem even more rampant, for the fact of there's no way for you to, somebody's spamming you, maybe build up a wall, jump off it real quick, hit the headshot, and they're down, get the one shot, it cancels that out. Now the shotguns take 2-3 shots, even more sometimes, to kill somebody, because they don't have the tight bloom they need, except for the new combat one, but the damage on it's not that great. An attack one that's just really spread out. So trying to close that gap or trying to really hit those shots from long ranges, it's just kind of hard to do, and the drum gun will just destroy you. So I think by taking out the pump but then adding in the drum gun was just a bad mix. I think if they would have just taken out the pump and then not implemented the drum gun, or if they did have it nerfed, then it wouldn't have been such a bad deal. I honestly wanted the TAC SMG to be unvaulted, but the community did drum gun, and now you see the reasons and the backlash and all the things that come from that. I feel like that was more or less a troll from the community. I don't know if people legitimately wanted that thing back, because when everybody I play with and every time you look at the community, nobody was like, man, this needed to come back. Everybody was like, I'm glad that it was taken out. And when the unvaulting event happened, people were really scared of people seeing a ton of their lobby, over half of it, just hitting away at the drum gun. So the drum gun is just... something needs to happen with it. And the pump being deleted does not help it any. It just makes it the only viable gun in the game right now, and it's just drum gun meta, only drum guns. You took out the pump because you didn't want there to be such an aggressive playstyle that people had to where you were just rushing and one pumping people. But then you add the drum gun in, which is even more aggressive in my opinion, which is my next big bubble point on why I think Season 9 is kind of flawed as of right now, and that's the slipstreaming / third partying that's going on right now. The slipstream system is a great idea. I think it's great. You get around the map pretty quick. There's nothing wrong with that system. I think it's a pretty cool and innovative thing. I like every season how they add different momentum and different movement styles and transportation that you can use to get in and out of the storms around points of interest. Just really speeds the game up, something that Fortnite does better than any other battle royale really at the moment. But the way that people use the slipstreams in late game is just really killing a lot of in-game and honestly kind of mid-game just in general, because what people will do is they'll just kind of hover back and forth within these slipstreams and just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they just sit there and just keep going around these little these paths, and they'll listen for fights that are going on. And then when them fights are happening, then they'll use that to project themselves out and fly into a battle that's already happening to get easy 1 or 2 kills because it's a third party. And then boom, now you're gone because somebody was just hiding off in an air vent somewhere in the back flying around like they were Superman. And it's just not very fun to get in an engaging fight and be like, all right, now I found somebody after looting up, let's have a fight, just to know somebody shot you in the back because they flew out of the sky. It's just not very fun, and I don't like the third partying. That's one thing I always hate about battle royale games, and I know it's the nature of them, but there's got to be countermeasures to try to just not promote that style. I know that everyone should be able to play their game, they play it the way they want to, but just some things just I can't agree with, and third partying is one of them. I mean, it's annoying to get in a fight with someone and just have somebody behind you just hit you. It's really annoying. It promotes just nobody running around, and then it's just slow. So I don't know. I don't really like third partying. I know some people think it's a tactic, but I can't agree with it, and that's my opinion. And a lot of the community seems to agree on that. And I think a fix they could do for this third partying that is really going on right now is what they need to do is just take the slipstream system, and I've seen this everywhere on Reddit and things, and I think they might actually implement this because it's a really good idea. What you do is you just make it to where when the storm closes in, about I think it's the third or fourth storm that comes in, just have the power go off. I mean, Loot Lake is there and it's powering everything. The Loot Lake vault that opened has got a giant tube and it powers everything, Neo tilted and all that. And just have it to where after the third or fourth storm, it just causes some kind of frequency or something, electromagnetic waves. Boom, Loot Lake gets shut down. Whole place goes shut down. Slipstreams aren't in a thing. None of that. Because when you get about to the third or fourth circle, trying to close that gap to use the slipstreams for their intended purpose of getting around the map and getting into the storm isn't really even a necessity anymore. Because after about the third or fourth circle, you kind of already know where it's going to go. So it's not that hard to run to it. I mean, when it's the first or second and it's a big circle and you're like way down here in Paradise, Palms, and you got to go way up there to Pleasant or something like that, that makes sense. But besides that, it's really just there to really ruin the game. Like I said, when the last circle's there and people are just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the slipstream, it's just kind of stupid, and I don't understand it. So I think if they can just implement that fix, which a lot of the communities get behind and trying to address that to them, I think that'll be a good fix, because they already said they're fixing it. They just don't know how, and I think that would be a good fix for it. So after all that, I think everything's good. The game, I do like the pump being gone, but the drum gun being there as its replacement pretty much, and a worse one at that, just doesn't make it really, it's not a good recipe for this season. I think the battle pass is pretty cool. I like the new points of interest. I like the futuristic theme. All the other things are great. I just think that the one underlying problem is the drum gun and nothing to counter it in the third partying system. Like I said, those two things are my main complaints with season 9. Season 9, in my opinion, is a pretty good season. Just get those things out, and it could probably be the best state of Fortnite we've ever had. I'm not gonna lie. I think it could be pretty high up there for my favorite season if they could just get those things fixed. But yeah, that's been my opinions on Season 9 of Fortnite. If you guys agree with me or if you haven't played it yet, I advise you to just go try it, see what you think of it, and maybe come back to this video and write in the comments what you think. If you agree or disagree, I'd like to get a little discussion going because I like to interact with you guys. And if you're new here, if you did enjoy the video, do hit the like button and subscribe for more videos from me. I'm going to be trying to get back on my schedule. Had a lot of things come up. I know I said this last time in the last video. It's been almost a month now. But I think I've got the inspiration, the ideas of what type of videos I want to do. And I think that'll help this channel pushing forward. But yes, that's been Acidic, and I am out. Peace.